Alright, what is up everybody, Raging Monster, and welcome to the first part of the 50 sub special. So today, I kind of want to discuss a topic that I've seen a lot of other people talking about, which is which side is more toxic. I'm going to go ahead and lay the foundation now. I'm not going to discuss things like teabagging, flashlight clicking, pointing. I don't see any of that as toxic, and I'll explain why later. So, first of all, a lot of people have said that they believe Killer is more toxic. I believe it was Scott Jun that said that, and then there was Space Coconut who said both sides are toxic. So I kind of just want to elaborate on what I define as toxic and what I think. I want to define what is really toxic versus an annoyance in this game. Alright, so firstly, let's discuss body blocking. So that was Space Coconut's biggest point, was body blocking, and yeah, so let's discuss body blocking. So obviously, body blocking another survivor so they can't play the game, yeah, it's pretty fucking toxic. So to that point, I agree, that is toxic. To the next point, I want to discuss the situations at which survivors fuck over their own teammates. So a perfect example is, let's say there's a Claudette that's hiding, right? And you don't like that the Claudette is hiding, so you point out the Claudette to the killer. That's fucking toxic. That is actually fucking your team over, so yeah, I believe that that is genuinely toxic. Next, I want to go ahead and discuss this whole perks are toxic comments that I've been seeing. I don't necessarily think perks are toxic. I think perks can be an annoyance. I don't think they're toxic. I don't think perks like head on, as you can see in this video, people are trying to head on me. I'm not bothered by that. It's an annoyance, yeah, but it's not really toxic. Teabagging, flashlighting, pointing, or well, gesturing, I look at those more as annoyances than they are toxic. I don't necessarily believe they're toxic because there are situations where teabagging is more of a strategy. Camping and tunneling, I do not think those are toxic either. I think to the people that claim that they are, I completely disagree with you. They are strategies. Now, is there points at which when a killer is camping you, he can be toxic? Absolutely, yes. So if a killer is sitting there beating the shit out of you on hook, then yeah, that's pretty fucking toxic. Because on the survivor's end, there's really nothing they can do. So yeah, I mean, in that situation, that is toxic. Is tunneling toxic? So there's a two-way street to this, but I'm going to go with tunneling as a strategy, and I do not foresee it being toxic. Now, there are certain situations where I guess it can be. If you're tunneling somebody because they have TTV or YouTube or just because of something, if you're tunneling them because they have a charm on, like shit like that, then okay, yeah, fair enough, that's toxic. But I think in a situation where you're tunneling to apply pressure, I don't think it's toxic. Again, kind of going back into toxic versus an annoyance, what I define as toxic is a situation where you are hurting your team or you're actually ruining the game for survivors. Now, with that being said, people are going to say, well, camping is ruining the game for survivors. Not necessarily. It's ruining the game for one survivor. It's not ruining it for the whole team. The whole team is actively still doing gens. They still have the chance to escape. Now, the person on hook, sure, their game is over. That's just how it is. It might be annoying, but I do not define tunneling or camping as toxic. I define them more of an annoyance than anything else, which I believe is what they should have been categorized as early. Again, I think that the common misconception with toxic in this game is how much it's overused. Like, here's a perfect example. A lot of people will say, oh, this Steve ran back up to this gen after he was hooked. That's fucking toxic. Believe it or not, there's people that think shit like that is toxic. He's quote-unquote gen tunneling. Like, again, I think there's a lot of misconceptions in this community about what is actually toxic, and a lot of it stems from your streamers. There's a lot of streamers that will sit there and get face camped and say, "Oh, this guy's toxic." There's a lot of streamers that'll get tunneled that say, "Oh, this guy's toxic." You have to understand, if you have TTV or YouTube in your name, you're putting yourself out there, right? And even in my case, when I play Survivor completely off recording, I get tunneled to shit. I get camped to shit. It's nothing new. I'm used to it because I know what's gonna happen, right? For some reason, people like to get a reaction out of others, and it kind of works. If you face camp or tunnel somebody, you're guaranteed a reaction in the after game chat. It's very rarely that it just never happens. That's a big reason why I'm not going to even go into trying to classify that as like toxic, because I don't think it is. I think it's more of an annoyance. Again, I think toxic is shit like holding the game hostage, right? Like pinning the survivor in a corner, and that's killer or survivor. I don't think AFKing, I don't think Blood Warden, Noed, Wraith is a problem. I think Blood Warden, Noed, Wraith, and AFK until endgame is more of an annoyance. However, I believe if you come into the game and AFK with the intent of not playing the game, period, at any point of the game, then that's toxic. I don't think coming into the game with the mindset of I'm going to Noed and down somebody is toxic. Same thing with Basement Bubba. I don't think Basement Bubba is toxic, right? And I'm talking about chest guard Bubba. I'm not talking about like I'm gonna face camp you, but I'm talking about like the chest guardian, right? I don't think that that's toxic, but there's survivors that do. There are players that generally think that that's so shitty that killers do that. I don't really see that as a problem. I think it's more of an annoyance, and I think it's a strategy. You'll notice with me, I'm going to classify things that I believe are strategies as annoyances versus, shit that is like actually problematic in the game. Obviously, I'm going to classify that as toxic. But yeah, like I said, I think a big thing is a lot of people, there's a lot of egos in this game, and instead of understanding a strategy versus what is actually a problem in the game, I think that's a big issue. Like I said, I'm going to list the things that we talked about on screen. What is toxic, what is an annoyance, and what I generally believe people need to kind of understand the difference between the two. But yeah, I do think there are situations where certain things like tunneling and camping, they can be taken as toxic. Obviously, there are situations for everything. But I think the fact that it's a strategical play in the game kind of outweighs the toxic ability within it. So that's my opinion on that. Yeah. I'm going to go ahead and list up the things, and if you guys have any opinions on that, leave it in the comments. If you guys did enjoy this first segment of the 50 sub special, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe. We are on the road to 100 subs, and I do plan to do more videos like this if you guys want. I believe next we're going to discuss why Dead by Daylight does not have a competitive game. So I will see you guys in that next video. We'll go ahead and finish up this Wraith gameplay, and yeah, I'll catch you guys there. So I'm going to go ahead and hook this Nia. Go ahead and hook her. A CK. This game's pretty much over. Unbreakable? No, unbreakable. Yeah, this game's over. Oh, hatch spawned. We'll close hatch and GG. Alright, welcome to the second part of the 50 sub special. Today we are going to be talking about why Behavior does not have any competition. So let's go ahead and dive into this. So a big problem with a lot of these games that come out, in my honest opinion, are they release on platforms that are not competing against Dead by Daylight. Perfect example, Predator Hunting Grounds. I was so hopeful for this game to take off. I liked it. I actually liked Predator Hunting Grounds. I thought it had replayability, which it did. Obviously there was some issues. I think there was a lot of bugs in it, and obviously it released on a terrible platform, in my honest opinion. If you're gonna try to compete against DBD, the best bet is to tackle it on Steam. Let's go into another example. Last year had potential too, until they, kind of blew off the opinion of the community, but let's not talk about that. I will say releasing on Discord was a bad move. I think whoever the marketing teams for these games should never be in marketing. Yeah, I think it was a horrible idea. I think that was a big reason why last year died. I also think it's a big reason why Predator Hunting Grounds is kind of dead too. It's the platform that I believe is a big problem. A lot of people will say, but Monster, what about games like Soul at Stake? Isn't Soul at Stake on Steam? And to that, I will say, I don't believe that that's the... I believe games like Soul at Stake aren't meant to compete with DBD. In all honesty and all respect, I believe that I just don't see them ever being a competing game. Now, I know a lot of people are going to say, well, that's not a very fair mindset. The thing is like, sure, Dead by Daylight originated as kind of like, at the time, I believe Behavior was like almost an indie company at one point. And they released DBD and it took off and it became one of the, pretty much the king of the genre. I don't think, respectfully, that that'll ever happen again. I think that was a one-time thing. Dead by Daylight took off, and games like Soul at Stake are just, they don't have the replayability. They don't have that it factor that keeps people coming back. And that it factor is progression. You just don't have that. And that's the problem. And I've noticed it's such an obvious issue with a lot of these games that are coming out, and even Death Garden showed it. There's a lack of progression. If you're gonna try to compete with DBD, you need progression. You need something that will keep players coming back and sticking with the game. And just a lot of these games don't have that. I think that's a big reason why Friday the 13th kind of died out alongside the lawsuit, because there just wasn't a lot of progression. There wasn't something to keep people playing the game. Now, sure, Friday the 13th was fun, and I will agree that I think Friday the 13th was the only valid competitor that Dead by Daylight has had in a long time. And the reason I'll say that is when Friday the 13th first came out, I remember Behavior put out one of the best patches at the time that they had ever done. And I'm pretty sure at the time they were still under Starbreeze, right? And Starbreeze was dog shit. I remember it vividly. When Friday the 13th came out, at the time the game was trash, right? There was so much shit wrong with DBD at the time. And I remember Behavior put out one of the best patches, and I think that patch they even buffed Pig, if I'm correct. There was a lot of, I'm pretty sure they did buff Pig that patch, but yeah, I think competition for any game is good. I think Dead by Daylight needs more competition. What I would like to see in a game is I would like to see a AAA company tackle it. B, I would like to see some type of progression system, whether it be ranking, whether it be rewards, some type of progression to keep the players coming back is very important. Especially when trying to compete with a game like Dead by Daylight, you need You desperately need progression. The next would be replayability. I think a game that has replayability has the potential to really challenge this genre. Dead by Daylight. See, the thing about Dead by Daylight is you can play thousands of matches, and every match is going to be different, right? From killers to the survivors, from perks to what happens in the game to maps. Like, these are all things that a challenging game would need to compete with behavior. And these last games have not done that. Another thing, originality. I think there's a lot of games that try to base their game too much around Dead by Daylight. And I think that's where they fuck up. Basing your game too much around being like Dead by Daylight is bad. It's bad. It is not what you need to separate your game from DVD, but also make it a valid competitor. Copying what Dead by Daylight has done doesn't make your game good. Now, a lot of people are going to say, Monster, who is that aimed at? Trust me, there's games out there that do that. It's be original. You know, come up with an original design. I think Friday the 13th was very original. It was different. I think last year was original. It was different. But I think there was common issues, and there were certain things that kind of made it feel like Dead by Daylight. And I believe that that's kind of why those games did not do that well, is because people look at those games and they go, oh, it's a knockoff DVD. Why would I play that? And that's the biggest issue in this genre, is coming up with something unique. Coming up with something that has progression, and on top of all that, coming up with something that is original and isn't a copy and paste of what DVD is, and just with a little minor edits and changes. If a game was like, if a game would come out that is original, has progression, and has replayability, I think it would easily challenge DVD. And I think the only way that a game like that comes out is from a AAA company. Because let's face it, DVD is an unclaimed market at the moment. The king of asymmetrical is an unclaimed market. The king of asymmetrical is Dead by Daylight and behavior. There's no AAA company that has challenged this yet. I think in the next coming years, and yes, I said years, I think a AAA company is going to grow the balls. And I think they're really going to go out of their way to challenge behavior. And I think, personally, I'm all for it. Dead by Daylight needs competition. In order for game health, and in order for the community's voice to be heard and behavior to stop thinking that they know everything about the fucking game, they need competition. Think about it like this, okay? Let's say you're the world champion in boxing, okay? You have fought everybody in boxing, and there's nobody else to fight. You get lazy. You get lazy because you're not trying to be the best anymore, because you are the best, right? There's nothing challenging you and motivating you to get better. That is pretty much what Dead by Daylight is right now. It's the world champion of its genre. It has nothing to challenge it, so therefore it goes unchallenged. The devs are getting lazy, and the higher-ups at behavior don't see any competition, so they're like, hey, fuck it. We don't have to take the community seriously anymore. We can just push skins out and they'll buy it like sheep. Because they know people will buy it, because people have a fear of missing out, right? It's a common thing in gaming. People don't want to miss out, so they'll buy whatever they can so that they don't miss out in the long run. It's a really dangerous cycle that behavior is doing. However, when competition comes out, competition will bring the best out of both games. It is a fact. It is a fact. It has happened many times in the gaming industry. When a challenging game comes out, the other games try their hardest to step up to the plate and challenge these new games and do what they can to keep their player base playing. Competition is healthy. Behavior needs it. The only way I see it happening is if a AAA game, or if a AAA dev team goes, you know what? Fuck it. Let's do it. Let's challenge this genre. Let's take on behavior. Let's see what we can do. And I think it's going to happen. I've heard a lot of rumors, and again, rumors are dangerous, so I'm not going to spread them, but I've heard a lot of rumors that there are AAA companies looking at this genre and going, hey, we could do this. If Behavior did it, we can do it. And I hope, I really do hope that we get some type of competition for this game. Obviously, I think a big thing is when competition comes out, we need to be willing to play it and give it a chance and not just shrug it off as, oh, a DVD copycat. I think that's so common. And it's so common with diehard fans of this game. It is okay to be a diehard fan of this game. I'm a diehard fan of DBD. But what I'm not going to do is I'm not going to look at every game that comes out and say, okay, DBD knockoff, not playing it. Like, that's the problem. That is the mentality that Behavior wants you to have, because they know that you're never going to leave at that point. And they know that any challenging game is not going to put up the same numbers as they do. And it's the mindset that's the issue. Now, a lot of people are going to say, with all that being said, let's say a game comes out like that. How does a game beat 1 million players? Okay, here's how a game actually scares Behavior. You release it on Steam. You challenge DVD on Steam. The reason why you challenge DVD on Steam is because Steam is Dead by Daylight's home. If a game in the same genre is putting more numbers up than Dead by Daylight on Steam, that's competition. Straight away, it's competition. Behavior will look at that as competition. They did the same thing for Friday the 13th. They will do the same thing for any other game that puts up more numbers on Steam than they do. Now, people will say, but console's the biggest platform. Why wouldn't they be more concerned about console? The reason why they're not that concerned about console, and this is the harsh reality of it, is Dead by Daylight's home is Steam. It's always been Steam. It will always be Steam. Nothing will ever change there. So, for a game to compete with DVD, you need to start on its own playground, Steam. If you challenge DVD on Steam and you're putting up more numbers on Steam, Behavior is gonna notice. They're gonna notice. Whether or not it's going to drive them to do better, it's up in the air, because Behavior is a coin flip. But I personally think it would, because if you're in this situation where this game is putting up more numbers than you are on Steam, it's a red flag, man. It's the start of it building its own community, which is good. It's good. Obviously, I think console release would be important as well, because the more players you drive away from console and DVD, the better. But I do think a Steam release straight off is the play. I do think that challenging DVD on its home turf, Steam, is the best idea. Obviously, they have more console players. That's not... I don't think that that's really the argument. I think that you need to focus more on putting up more on Steam, because I think that is a harsh reality, or a harsh wake-up call to Behavior, and I think that would be enough to really, really shake things up. So, yeah, with that being said, that has been why Dead by Daylight doesn't have any competition. Next, we are going to move into the celebration for 50 subs, and I will catch you guys in that video. We're going to go ahead and wrap this one up and let the timer run out. All right, welcome to the third and final part of this video, and I just want to say thank you guys for 50 subs. It does mean a lot, and we've had a lot of ups and downs on this channel, and again, I said it, I think, a couple of videos ago. I do plan to be a little bit more active here and try to record when I can in my free time. But again, I just want to thank you guys for sticking with me. I know a lot of people say this, but I actually never thought I'd hit 50 subs. I never thought 50 people would actually enjoy my content enough. I'm always my biggest critic. I've always been my biggest critic, and I guess that's my downside, is I doubt a lot of my stuff that I do, and I really shouldn't, and it's a really bad habit. But to see that, 50 of you guys actually do enjoy my stuff, and to see a lot of you guys comment and stuff like that, it means a lot, because it shows that, like, you know, I'm doing what I'm enjoying and people are liking it, and that's always been the biggest thing for me. So yeah. So I guess we'll talk about the plans going forward and what I want to do with the channel. So a big thing for me is I want to start doing more killer variety. I'm kind of tired of, just playing certain killers all the time. So I'm kind of going to start doing some variety. As you can see in this video, there was some variety. I played Wraith, Billy, and Hag. And you guys are watching the Hag video now. I don't play Hag very often because I feel like I have reached a level with her that I feel like once you reach a certain point with Hag, she kind of stops being fun and she kind of just becomes like an animal. That's why I don't play Hag very often, but I do want to start doing more variety. I think variety is fun, and I'm talking killer variety. Obviously, I want to do other games. I've been debating for a long time about doing some Alien Isolation videos. Let me know if you guys would like to see that, because that's kind of something that I've wanted to do, is like an Alien Isolation playthrough. I love that game a lot. If you guys don't know, I'm a huge Aliens fan. That game is sick. So yeah, let me know if you guys would want to see something like that. Obviously, I would have to buy it and install it, but I really like that game. Yeah, it's sick, dude. Excuse me. Obviously, I want to do some, some other stuff other than, DBD and Alien Isolation. I'll just have to figure out what it would be. But yeah, I kind of want to start branching this channel out a little bit. Obviously, DBD will always be my main game, and that's obviously the plan going forward. But I do want to start trying some other stuff. Hopefully, there's a lot of games coming out, and there's a lot of good stuff coming out, because I just want to try new stuff. Always playing DBD, it kind of gets to a point sometimes where it becomes more of a chore than an actual hobby playing this game, because there's so much bugs and stuff that just kind of affect the game. But yeah, obviously DBD will always be the game that I play and come back to. But I do want to do some other stuff, and I kind of want to start branching the channel out a little bit, because here's the thing. I don't just want to be a DBD Andy. Obviously DBD is what started my channel, and it is what is progressing my channel, but I want to step away. Well, not step away. Step away is a bad word. I want to branch out and do other stuff and play other games, and I want to involve more of my friends in this channel, and just do something different. Obviously DBD content will still be uploaded and it'll still happen, but I kind of want to just add some variety to the channel, give you guys more options of things to watch, and that goes for killer and games too. I just want to do something different, and I think that this is the perfect time. My channel is pretty much on a really good steady growth, and I think that it wouldn't hurt to try something new. So yeah. Again, I want to thank you guys for 50 subs. It means a lot to me, and again, we're still on the road to 100 subs, and I think we can hit 100 by the end of the year. I really do. If we hit 50 within I think it's been like what, 6 months or something like that of me playing of me uploading DBD videos. I haven't been on YouTube that long, and I've already hit 50. So we're not far away from 100. We need another 50 subs. I think we can do it. We've got plenty of time to do it. So I'm gonna start uploading different killer games. Obviously, you guys saw Wraith and Hag this game. Those are two killers I don't play a lot. I adore Hag. I just don't play her a lot because I kind of feel bad playing her, to be honest with you. Once you reach a certain level with Hag, she's insane. She is. I would argue she's probably one of the best killers in the game. She is just nasty when you reach that level. And no, she is not D tier, for those that are gonna ask. But yeah, I think that I also kind of want to start doing some Survivor games. Let me know what you guys think about that. Um, I uploaded some Survivor gameplay, I think, not too long ago. It didn't do very well. I don't know if it was just YouTube fucking me on the algorithm again, or if you guys just generally weren't interested in Survivor. Let me know if you guys are, because I kind of want to start doing some Survivor games. Again, I did say I want to involve my friends more in my channel, and I do. You know, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for my friends, because a lot of them, you know, actually encouraged me to do YouTube and told me, hey, you can do it. And, you know, I kind of want to start involving them more. And, you know, obviously Survive with Friends would be kind of cool. I don't know if you guys would enjoy that, but again, this is the whole point of me asking, is gauging whether or not you guys would be interested in it. Um, and lastly, and yes, lastly, um, I am going to be uploading this video on Friday. So Monday, you guys will have 2 videos a week. I'm going to go back to 2 videos a week. I'm going to try. I cannot promise anything. My health is still kind of up in the air. Some days I'm good, some days I'm not good. So kind of having to figure that out. And that's kind of the challenge right now, is, you know, I'm trying to upload videos where I'm not coughing like crazy in them, because I know it is so annoying, and I apologize heavily to you guys. The only reason why I uploaded videos like that is because I did not want to leave you guys without videos, and plus it would stunt the growth of the channel if I just stopped uploading. So obviously I'm kind of focusing on, you know, the coughing stuff first, and yeah, once I get that under control, I do plan to do a little bit more stuff. Obviously, I've got some IRL stuff I need to take care of, and that will probably come first. But obviously, I will do my best to try to upload videos when I can. I want to do 2 videos a week. When I was doing 2 videos a week, you guys were pleased, so we're going to try to go back to doing that. With that being said, if you guys did enjoy this sub special, make sure to leave a like, share, and subscribe. If you guys want to see more videos like this sub special, where it's 3 killer games or 3 Survivor games, let me know. I am down to do that for you guys. Comment what you guys want to see. I will catch you guys in the next video. Have a fantastic day. I love you guys. Peace.